Apple beats the tariff with plane loads of iPhones. Fed workers fear that AI is monitoring what they say about Trump, and a whack of major AI innovations announced. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. It wasn't exactly a spy thriller, but it was a mission on a deadline. Apple quietly airlifted 5 cargo planes full of iPhones and other devices into the U.S. in the days before the new tariffs took effect. The shipments, flown in from factories in India and China in late March, were part of a rush to stock American warehouses ahead of the April 5th deadline. The reason for the Covert-style operation? Products from China were scheduled to face a 54% tariff, Vietnam a 46% tariff, and India a 26% tariff. Now, if you probably have been listening to the news over the past little while, you find out that that's all up in the air, although now the tariffs against China have more than doubled. But for Apple, whose global supply chain runs straight through all of these countries, there was serious money on the line. According to PC Magazine, the move would help avoid immediate price hikes on devices like the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which already retails for as much as $1599 US. With the new tariffs, analysts warned that the price could shoot up to $2,300 US if Apple passes the full cost on to consumers. Apple hasn't commented publicly on the shipments, but sources say the flights were part of a broader strategy to buy time. The company is racing to shift more production to India and other lower tariff countries, but that's a long-term strategy and will take time to execute. In the short term, Apple may have dodged the tariff bullet and stocked its warehouses for the next few months, but if trade tensions continue, even secret airlifts may not be enough. For as much as the Trump administration demands that iPhone production be moved to the U.S., Apple has always maintained this is not possible. And it's not, as some have suggested, because China uses an army of peasant labor. Steve Jobs had this argument with Barack Obama as far back as 2010. Jobs explained that it's not cheap labor, it's the trained workforce that's the issue. Apple needs to supply 30,000 properly trained engineers to support a workforce of 700,000 workers they employ in China. You can't find that many in America to hire. And the situation hasn't changed. As Tim Cook in 2017 at the Fortune Global Forum bluntly put it, the truth is that China stopped being a low labor cost country many years ago, and that's not the reason to come to China from a supply point of view. The reason is because of the skill and quality of skill in one location and the type of skill. We require really advanced tooling and the precision that you have to have in tooling and working with the materials that we do. Those are state-of-the-art, and tooling skills are very deep here. You know, in the U.S., you could have a meeting of tooling engineers, and I'm not sure we could fill a room. In China, you could fill multiple football fields. Federal employees in the U.S. are raising alarms about being monitored by AI tools trained to flag criticism of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Several workers inside the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and other departments say an AI system developed under the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, now led by Musk, is analyzing internal chats and emails for signs of political disloyalty. According to a Reuters investigation, the AI monitors platforms like Microsoft Teams, scanning for key phrases or sentiments deemed anti-administration. While the EPA has publicly stated that AI is being used to optimize agency functions, insiders say more than 600 employees have already been placed on leave under unclear circumstances, with broader cuts expected. The monitoring appears to be part of a larger pattern. DOGE staff reportedly use encrypted apps like Signal, where messages disappear shortly after being read, and frequently collaborate on shared Google Docs, leaving little paper trail. Legal experts warn this may skirt federal transparency laws and suppress protected speech. Adding to the tension, some sources say that Musk's AI assistant Grok is being deployed inside government systems, though its specific role remains undisclosed. Whether Grok is helping schedule meetings or screening dissent is unclear, but the silence from officials is making some federal workers nervous. As one EPA staffer put it, you start second-guessing everything you type. It's not just Big Brother watching. It's Grok. And the AI race shows no sign of slowing, with major companies again continuing to make announcements of new features. Microsoft has introduced Copilot Vision, a feature that allows its AI assistant to interact with content across applications on a user's PC. But as the tech journal The Register said in an article today, Copilot Vision takes the memory creepiness up a notch. The mobile app versions for Android and iOS can identify and answer questions about items within the view of the phone's camera. But the native Windows desktop version, also branded under Copilot Vision, is more unsettling. It will read the screen and interact with the content, according to Microsoft, and Copilot will be able to change settings, organize files, and collaborate on projects. The article in the Register wonders what this application, which as recently as last week thought there were 25 years and a half century, will do to users' desktops. Members of the Windows Insiders will be the first to see what this new Copilot can do. At Cloud Next 2025, Google unveiled Workspace Flows, a tool designed to automate complex multi-step processes using AI. Users can create custom versions of Google's AI, known as GEMs, by simply describing their needs in plain language. Workspace Flows then designs and builds sophisticated, logic-driven workflows without the need for complex coding. The feature aims to streamline tasks such as customer support requests and policy document reviews. Google is slowly pulling all of these functions together into what could be a highly integrated set of apps and productivity tools. And finally, DeepSeek AI, in collaboration with Tsinghua University, has unveiled some new research on what they have termed self-principled critique tuning, SPCT, a novel method that enables AI models to develop their own guiding principles and critiques during information processing. This approach enhances the effectiveness of self-evaluation across various tasks, marking a significant advancement in what's called reward modeling techniques. Now, the paper is still new, and although they report success against a number of benchmarks, the techniques probably still need to be proven. But they would be a big advancement in what is termed inference time training, which uses far less compute and far less data to enhance the results of AI models. But this is not all just theory. The team has integrated this into a new model called DeepSeek GRM, a 27 billion parameter open source model based on Google's Gemma 227b, and as noted, has gotten some great results on benchmarks. But that's not all. DeepSeek has also released two other models. Their R3 model, which is what they call an open weights model, because you can download not just the code, that would make it open source, but you also get the weightings, the essence of the trained model as well. Artificial analysis, AI models, has stated that this is the first time that an open weights model is the leading non-reasoning model, marking a milestone for open source. The model scored the highest points among all non-reasoning models on the platform's intelligence index. And in terms of the reasoning models, the models that are quite expensive in terms of processing, but can go back and relook at what they've done and have incredible accuracy and intelligence, Reuters has reported that DeepSeek is planning to launch the next version of their reasoning model they call R2, R1 being the first one. DeepSeek was an enormous breakthrough for open source and open weights AI. They challenged the leadership of proprietary models from OpenAI and Google, and it looks like they're going to continue to drive that open source competition. Just to give you some perspective on this, from recent comments from Sam Altman, There's no doubt that he and others regard DeepSeek as a real competitive threat. So that was an amazing amount of announcements, or as those of us who watch AI would call it, Thursday. If you want to follow more in-depth discussion on AI and its impacts, join us on the weekend for Project Synapse, where we do a deeper dive into AI and its impacts on our work and our lives. But that's the show for today. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday.